Now, breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
Right now at 8 o'clock, killed in a crash. We now know a teenager is dead after a collision in Raleigh. The new details from police about this crash near I-40.
And it's a pleasant morning. We're going to see dry conditions for today thanks to a high that's well to our north and east. I'll show you why the rain rolls right back for tomorrow, though.
Protecting kids from guns. Today, new resources are launching to help parents protect their children from gun violence. The program coming to Wake County. We'll dive into that story and others as you're waking up this Thursday morning. Thanks so much for joining us here on WRAL News and Fox 50. I'm Chris Lovingood.
And I'm Michelle McConaughey. Yep, it is Friday Eve. We've made it to Thursday. We have a beautiful sunrise behind us. The sun is now up. Blue skies out there. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner is actually on the WRAL weather patio. You need a light jacket this morning. It's a little chilly out there.
The shirt that I'm wearing is really thin, so it is nice to have this light jacket. Our temperatures are a bit cooler this morning thanks to a high pressure system that's up to our north and east. That is pushing in the cooler, drier air. And you see the rain between Asheville and Greenville. All of that will stay to our west today thanks to that high. Now that high moves on out and we see the rain rolling back in for tomorrow and Saturday. But we go through time. This is lunchtime and you can see almost how all the precipitation, the clouds are really pushing off to the west. That's thanks to that high. So we stay dry today with a mix of sun and clouds. Beautiful in Zebulon this morning. You can see sunny skies, 63 degrees, our temperature, and temperatures across the area range from the mid-50s in the north to mid-60s down to the south and west. Again, thanks to the cool air that's coming in off the coast. 80 degrees for the high temperature this afternoon. We're nice and dry. Temperatures stay mild, but I'll show you why we transition to a wetter pattern just in time for the weekend. Ken?
Happening now in the WRAL traffic center. We want to get right to that situation we've been following all morning long down in the New Hill area. The State Highway Patrol reporting that there were 3 crashes in the area, 2 near New Hill Harleman Road, another one in the southbound lanes as well. Here's a picture of one of those crashes in the southbound lane, courtesy of photographer Michael Joyner. It involved that sedan. That crash is cleared. According to Michael, other crashes in the area have also been cleared. So we're just seeing some lingering delays in that area. If you're in a rush, State Highway 87 over to 64. That'll get you past what's happening on US 1. Let's take a spin around the Beltline. That was the southern loop of the Beltline, I-40 and Rock Quarry Road. The northern loop, traffic is moving along at a nice steady pace, I-440 and New Bern Avenue. You're getting ready to head out to the car. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
We have breaking news we're following. Police identified the man killed in a crash on I-40 near Rock Quarry Road. The video you're seeing here is from the WRAL breaking news tracker of the scene just before midnight. Raleigh police say the victim was 18-year-old Ethan Chibumingkwan. He died after he crashed into a tree. And that happened after Raleigh police say he was speeding and rear-ended another driver, causing both to drive off the road. The other driver hit a guardrail and suffered minor injuries.
The debate over water additives has been heating up nationwide. Tonight, local health officials will consider whether to continue adding fluoride to their water supply. WRAL's Eric Miller is at the Harnett County Health Department. And Eric, this could impact people there and in parts of Wake County as well.
Yeah, that's right, Michelle. Fuquay Arena gets some of their water from here in Harnett County. Holly Springs gets virtually all of their water. So the decision made by the Board of Health here tonight could have some pretty wide-ranging consequences. Now, fluoride has been in Harnett County water going all the way back to the 1950s. But the additive, which advocates say has been a major public health success and has helped prevent tooth decay, and everyone from the young to the old has come under increasing scrutiny, with Robert F. Kennedy Jr. taking the helm at the Department of Health and Human Services. Kennedy argues that fluoride has little benefit and may even be harmful at higher concentrations. Now, we did get a preview, essentially, of how the board may vote tonight. That was at the Harnett County Board of Commissioners meeting earlier this week when the vice chair of the Board of Health stepped up to speak. Take a listen to what she had to say.
I want you to understand that we have over 70 years of research on both the safety and the efficacy of fluoridating public water sources. It is the single most effective public health measure for preventing tooth decay.
Now, the Board of Health is set to meet tonight at 6 p.m. We'll be watching very closely to see what happens there. The County Board of Commissioners will then take up their recommendations at a work session next week. In Lillington, Eric Miller, WRAL News.
I want to get you a live look at the Vatican this morning. We're talking about thousands of people flooding into St. Peter's Basilica to say their goodbyes to Pope Francis. The church was supposed to close for the night at midnight, but it stayed open for all these people you're seeing right here. Today is the second of 3 days that he will lie in state. Next, a funeral will be held for the Pope in St. Peter's Square, and that's this Saturday morning. Finally, in accordance with his will, the late pontiff will have a burial in Rome's Basilica of St. Mary Major.
And back here at home, covering Durham. Today, Durham school employees will be sharing their goals for the district. They'll share these plans during tonight's school board meeting. One of their ideas is creating an agreement with the city and county to allow heart crisis care to be accessible in schools. The HEART program sends unarmed crisis responders out to some emergency calls. The meeting gets started at 6:30 this evening.
Today in Wake County, new resources will be available for parents to help them keep kids safe from gun violence. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey is live at Garner Magnet High School. And Kelsey, the school district kicks off this new program this morning.
Yes, Chris, that announcement is supposed to happen here at Garner High School in the next few hours. The program is called NC Safe, and it's designed to give parents free resources to start conversations about gun safety at home. About 30 community members heard from state safety leaders yesterday at Wake County Parent Safety Night. Many of those speakers were featured on our WRAL documentary last year, Unsafe, North Carolina Kids Dying from Gun Violence. 83 guns were found on North Carolina school campuses last year. In 75% of those cases, students brought those guns from home. This from the Department of Public Safety. Just this week, York Elementary School reported bullets were found in their cafeteria. Loaded guns were found at Southeast Raleigh High School and Enloe High earlier this year. The district is set to make that announcement at 10:30 this morning. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Wake County.
And as you heard Kelsey just mention, WRAL documentary Unsafe, North Carolina Kids Dying from Gun Violence. You can watch this documentary right now on our website, WRAL.com.
The Durham County Sheriff's Office reports a significant decline in overall crime this March. The Sheriff's Office experienced a 24% decrease in what it called top 8 crimes year over year. That's 43 total crimes in 2025 compared to 57 the previous year. The sheriff says stolen cars and firearms are still a problem for the county, and this includes 115 firearms seized between January and March this year.
Today, FAA investigators will be in Franklin County after a plane lost power, forcing an emergency landing. It happened at the Triangle North Executive Airport yesterday. The plane hit a fence before making a hard landing in a nearby field. The county's emergency management coordinator believes technical issues are likely responsible for this crash.
The airplane was undergoing maintenance, and I think this was a test flight to see how that maintenance was going. Whether or not that contributed to this cause, I can't say.
Both the pilot and mechanic on board did make it out safely.
Parents, students, and teachers at Leesville Road High School in Raleigh are on high alert, and that's because a student has whooping cough. The county health department says the student had symptoms in school between April 7th and 8th. Health leaders confirmed 28 cases of whooping cough in Wake County since the beginning of the year.
Ask questions, ask as many questions as you want to your pediatrician or primary provider about what may be some of the complications of the illness as opposed to benefits of the vaccine. And when you're sending your child to school, realize that there are a lot of infections and illnesses just kind of swimming around there and floating in respiratory droplets. So it's a good idea to have your child as protected as possible.
The school district sent out a message to families, the health department, students, and staff. And it essentially said the school will take every measure to prioritize the health and the safety of students.
A lane closure in Raleigh starts tonight that you should be aware of. Starting at 7 o'clock this evening, the intersection at Lewisburg and Forestville roads will look different. Left turns will not be allowed. Instead, you will have to make a combination of right turns and U-turns to get to your destination. This is part of an effort to enhance traffic flow and make the area safer for drivers. Work in this area could last through mid-July.
The Ocean County wildfire in New Jersey has now destroyed businesses, and it's threatening homes too. Liberty Door and Awning had one of its buildings destroyed. All the inventory in the building just lost in it. You can see the damage here on your screen. Workers are ordering new supplies for customers, and the fire out there, it's burned more than 12,000 acres and only 40% contained.
This morning, more affordable housing will be coming to Raleigh. A groundbreaking ceremony will be held at 10 o'clock this morning for the future Parkside Apartments on Kent Road. The new development will have 144 units of housing.
12 states are suing over President Donald Trump's tariffs. The states claim the White House is illegally imposing tax hikes on Americans through tariffs. Trump imposed the tariffs by using the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. The lawsuit comes as the president warns his 90-day pause of the tariffs might not last 90 days. He says he might reimpose some of the import taxes in 2 or 3 weeks, and that's even though the pause began on April 9th.
Car clubs taking over public streets, committing crime after crime.
Someone can get killed, someone can get hurt.
Tonight at 6, WRAL Investigates shows you the unbelievable video taken in downtown Durham. The roadblocks police are facing as they try to hold the participants accountable.
Your time's 8:10. Car sale scam. A local family scammed into buying a stolen truck. The multi-state search for the scammers.
And changes to Waverly Place. The Cary Shopping Center could see some major redevelopment. Why some nearby residents are concerned about the addition of more housing. Elizabeth?
And today is going to be a gorgeous day thanks to a high pressure system to our north and east. All the rain stays to our west. But just for today, I'll show you why it comes back tomorrow and how to plan around it over the weekend. I'm meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Pleasantly cool out here on the patio, but it will warm up pretty quickly today. It's 56 in Wilson, 63 in Durham, and 64 degrees in Fayetteville right now. Beautiful sunshine. No rain in the forecast for it today. You can see that 0% chance of rain for today. Now, on Friday, tomorrow, we'll get back into just a small chance of some thunderstorms, maybe as early as lunchtime. We're going to walk through that on Futurecast in just a few minutes. Saturday, a front comes through, and that'll bring more of us a better chance for showers and thunderstorms. We'll go through that, too. If you're headed out the door for some exercise, it's comfortable this morning. Our humidity is on the lower side. We'll see a high temperature in the low 80s. Ken?
Happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center, Elizabeth. For those of you getting ready to head out the door, particularly on major routes, that was I-40 and Rock Quarry Road traffic flowing nicely in both directions. A little different scenario in the northern loop of the Beltline as we take a live look at I-440 and New Van Avenue. You can see traffic is moving along bumper to bumper, so to speak. You're getting ready to head out the door to tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
With you on the go. Thanks, Ken. A Sampson County family is out $20,000 because they reportedly fell victim to a stolen vehicle scam. The Sampson County Sheriff shared these photos that you're seeing on your screen. He says the family drove to Georgia to purchase the truck, but when they got back to North Carolina, the DMV could not register it. Investigators discovered the truck was stolen in Texas and essentially cloned by criminals. That's when they changed the VIN, the stickers, and the keys to make it seem like it's legit. Officials in Texas and Georgia are searching for the people responsible in this.
A man accused of murder during a custody battle took the stand in his own defense. Dorian Thomas is accused of shooting his child's aunt, Emily Steinhoff, last March. During court yesterday, new video of the deadly shooting was played. Thomas says Steinhoff and her sister, Hillary Lombardi, arrived violently the night of the custody exchange. He says he brought a gun because of previous threats and because he didn't know who was at the door.
Said her Hells Angels friends would have me and have offered to assassinate me.
Thomas claims Lombardi got hold of his gun during a scuffle and a fatal shot hit Steinhoff. The state argues against claims that Lombardi instigated the attack. The trial is expected to wrap up this week.
A new lawsuit claims former college students in North Carolina are victims of a large cyber-sexual assault case. Matt Weiss is a former assistant football coach with the Baltimore Ravens and the University of Michigan. He was indicted last month. Weiss is accused of hacking into computer accounts of thousands of college athletes to find intimate images. A new lawsuit accuses him of doing the same thing to two former students at High Point University. And attorneys in that case say they're also looking into potential cases at Shaw University and Wake Tech. Weiss's attorney told WRAL he was not available to comment on this case. And we have reached out to all three schools for comments, and we're just waiting to hear back.
Jurors are hearing emotional testimony in the trial of a Massachusetts woman accused of killing her police officer boyfriend. John O'Keefe's mother sobbed while on the witness stand yesterday. Karen Reed is accused of killing O'Keefe by hitting him with her SUV and leaving him to die.
I hear Karen Reed yell, "Peg, is he dead? Is he dead, Peg? Peg, is he dead?" And she said, we went to a party. I left him there. I said, "You just left him there?"
Another witness testified about the damage that she saw to Reed's SUV the morning that O'Keefe was killed. Reed's attorneys claim there was a police cover-up in the case.
Southwest Airlines says that it will cut flights starting this summer because of economic uncertainty. Southwest expects flat or even dropping revenue for the second quarter. The company is making cuts as it ends its open seating and free checked luggage model. This month, United and Delta announced they were also reducing domestic flights.
Tech giant Intel is planning to lay off more than a fifth of its staff. This comes ahead of the earnings report from the company expected today. That's according to a report from Bloomberg. Bloomberg reports the move will be part of an effort to eliminate bureaucracy and streamline management. In August, Intel announced it was eliminating about 15,000 jobs. The chipmaker has faced years of declining sales.
A competitor with AMD also competing for them. Some people in downtown Raleigh are pushing back against a development plan in a historic neighborhood. Neighbors made their voices heard at a meeting about a development near Peace and West Streets. This is in Glenwood South. The plan could include buildings up to 30 stories tall, and many people are not happy about this. Others feel it would bring more life to downtown. The meeting was held for the developer behind the project to get feedback, and a final decision that'll be made at a later date.
A case of rabies was confirmed in Fayetteville. Officials say an injured raccoon was found on April 17th off Barnabas Circle. The state lab confirmed a positive rabies test. Animal Services encourages all pet owners to make sure their furry friends are up to date on their rabies vaccination.
Tonight, people in Cary plan to express their concerns over a proposed transformation of Waverly Place. Now, this is what it looks like now. It's a community gathering space filled with shops, restaurants, a grocery store, and a movie theater. And a developer asked the town to rezone this area. And this would add 750 multifamily units and 30,000 square feet of commercial space. Making it more pedestrian and bike friendly would also be a part of this.
That's a lot of people that are added to this. They're going to be going to work every day and coming back home from work. And they say that this is a destination center, and people are, the people that come here now are more than likely not going to want to come anymore because they won't be able to get in here.
The developer says a study the town conducted showed the traffic impact will be minimal. The rezoning request will be put to a vote in the next few months. And Cary's town council meets at 6:30 tonight, Michelle.
All right, let's get outside to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. She is tracking our weather forecast. Dry and nice today, but that's going to change, Elizabeth.
It feels so comfortable out here on the patio. And you may say, well, you're wearing a jacket. But I do have a really thin shirt on this morning. If I had something a little thicker on, I think I'd be really comfortable just standing out here without a jacket. Fayetteville, Raleigh, Apex, Chapel Hill, looking beautiful. We did have some cloud cover early this morning. We'll likely continue to have a bit more cloud cover the farther west and south you go. And I'll explain why that is coming up. Chapel Hill's courtesy of Top of the Hill Restaurant. We have a front that will continue to sag southward down into South Carolina. And notice here on this map, it is wet in the western part of the state and it is dry for us. So the rain stays west today. The storms do return on Friday and Saturday. And then Sunday looks absolutely gorgeous. We'll see drier, cooler, just a lovely air mass. Notice between Nashville, Lexington, and Asheville, Atlanta, that's where the clouds are and the showers. And then you see that high pressure system that's sitting there just off the coast of New York. That's a pretty powerful high, and it is pushing down into North Carolina, keeping a good bit of the state dry. Take a look at Futurecast. For Friday, that changes. Will be more cloudy for tomorrow morning, and then by lunchtime, we start to see that rain that is locked up to the west today pushing back into our area for Friday. That's 6 o'clock. It's not going to rain all day Friday, but there will be some pop-up showers and thunderstorms. Cloudy for Saturday, and then a cold front comes through late in the day. It's likely to be maybe 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and that will increase our chance for showers and thunderstorms. It's not going to be a washout Saturday, but our chances will be the highest of the next 7 days. Now today, with all the rain locked up to the west, there is actually a low risk for flooding, not for us, but for the western part of the state. How much rain will we see on Friday and Saturday? It's likely to be a quarter to a half an inch total for both days. So again, this is not going to be a deluge that we'll see. It's a 30% chance for tomorrow and an 80% chance for Saturday. Now, lots of events on Saturday. If you're headed out to Spring Days in Cary, go as early as you can, and then we'll end up with some showers and storms late in the day. Sunday looks phenomenal for outdoor plans to get out and enjoy it. We'll see a high Sunday of 73, and then it turns much warmer by next week.
All right, Elizabeth, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. For those of you getting ready to head out, let's check some of those major routes. Let's start with I-40 and Rock Quarry Road. You can see traffic flowing nicely in both directions. Those are the westbound lanes moving away from us. A little different scenario playing out on the northern loop of the Beltline. This courtesy of a live cam network. You see I-440 and New Bern Avenue traffic flowing at a bumper-to-bumper pace. So keep that in mind as you're about to head out this morning. Checking all the major routes coming into the capital city. Those crashes on US 1 in the New Hill area completely cleared, but we're still seeing some lingering delays. So you're looking at a 10-minute delay coming in. If you're in a rush, State Highway 87 over to 64, that'll get you around what's happening there on US 1. You're looking at an 8-minute delay coming in from Wake Forest this morning. Over in Durham, very little to no delays heading into the capital city. Nothing that's going to make you late this morning.
All right, thank you, Ken. Drinking water additives. Local health officials will consider the fluoride in their drinking water. How this will affect people in Wake and Harnett counties.
And locking up guns, a new program will be announced today in Wake County. The efforts to increase safe firearm ownership.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
Good morning. Time now is 8:26 on your Thursday morning. I'm Michelle McConaughey. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner out on the WRAL weather patio. Beautiful sunshine and nice temperatures out there.
It's really nice. You see me in my jacket, but I do have on a fairly thin shirt under this jacket, so it's a little bit cool for that. But gorgeous. Take a live look at Chapel Hill, courtesy of Top of the Hill Restaurant. Lots of sunshine out there as we take a look over Franklin Street. Beautiful day to eat your lunch outside. Temperatures in the mid-70s. Definitely good to go. Hour by hour, temperatures will climb into the low 80s for this afternoon. So walking the dog this evening around 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, mid to upper 70s will be perfect. Tomorrow and Saturday, back to a chance of storms. Ken?
All right, Elizabeth, let's start in the Bull City. Shall we give you a live look at 885 and TW Alexander Drive? You can see bumper to bumper traffic there. If you're heading into Durham this morning, you're looking at a 6-minute delay. If you're heading on 885 trying to get to I-40, you're looking at a 9-minute delay. In terms of other major routes heading into the Bull City, very little to no delays, really. Nothing that's going to really make you late. As for the capital city, here's what we're looking at. You're looking at an 8-minute delay coming in from Wake Forest as well as coming in from Apex down there on US 1.
All right, thank you, Ken. Tonight, Harnett County officials will decide whether they will continue adding fluoride to their water supply. The county's health department will hold a special meeting to discuss fluoridation tonight at 6. The Board of Commissioners will be following up this meeting next week. And a man is dead after a crash on I-40 near Rock Quarry Road in Raleigh. The WRAL breaking news tracker captured this video of the scene before midnight. The other driver was not hurt. Raleigh police say no charges are expected. Next on Fox 50, how Wake County schools are keeping kids safe from guns. And next on Today, Ina Garten live in Studio 1A.
Now, breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
Breaking news, a man is dead after an overnight crash on I-40 in Raleigh. What we know about the scene that cleared just after 3 o'clock this morning.
And it's nice out here right now, but rain in the western part of the state arrives back into our area starting tomorrow into Saturday. I'll show you the timeline for the rain.
Future of fluoride. Today, one community will consider removing this from the water supply. How it could affect thousands of people in Wake and Harnett counties. Thanks so much for waking up with us here on your Thursday morning as you're watching WRAL News on Fox 50. Come, join us. I'm Chris Levinson.
And I'm Michelle McConaughey. Yeah, bring your cup of coffee. Join us this morning. It's a beautiful start to our Thursday, our Friday Eve. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner outside on the weather patio because why not? It's beautiful out there.
It really is gorgeous. There was a little bit of cloud cover this morning, but pretty much all of that is gone now. I'm looking around, just a few high, thin clouds, and that's what we're seeing here on satellite and radar as well. If you look up to the north and east, there's a high pressure system that is pushing into the area. High pressure systems can act as blockers, and it's going to block all that rain that we see to the west from moving into our area. We see that here on Futurecast. Watch the clouds from Durham to Raleigh to Fayetteville and watch how they back up as we get through time. Eventually, they start to creep a little farther east, but we are likely to stay fairly fairly cloudy in our far western counties. So Hoke County, over there into Moore County, Chatham County, probably going to be a little cloudier than the rest of the area. And watch that rain develop back to the west around 5 o'clock. None of that's coming here today, but it will move back in tomorrow and Saturday. Enjoy the beautiful day. This is a live look at Fenton and Cary right now, where it is 63 degrees. We have an east wind at around 5 miles per hour. It's still 56 in Rocky Mount, but 64 in Southern Pines and 63 degrees in Durham. We climb into the low 80s for highs this afternoon. It is not going to be a washout for Saturday, but I'll walk you through the timeline of when you may want to be inside coming up. Ken?
All right, let's what's happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. Some heavy traffic in both lanes, both directions of I-885 and TW Alexander Drive. So looking at the census, if you're heading north on I-885, you're looking at a 7-minute delay. If you're heading south, meaning that you're coming I-885 trying to get to I-40, just looking at a 4-minute delay. As far as the other major routes into the Bowl City, really very little to no delays. Just Highway 98, you're looking at a 6-minute delay, but really nothing that's going to make you terribly late. In terms of the capital city, the real troubled spots, we're seeing a situation coming in from Apex. You're looking at an 8-minute delay. That's just the usual congestion we see this time of morning. I'm checking to see if maybe there's something else going on as well. You're looking at an 8-minute delay coming in from Wake Forest as well. I want to give you really quickly a look right now at the Beltline, the northern loop of the Beltline, particularly if you're coming in from Johnston County, Knightdale, that type of thing. You're looking at maybe a 3 to 5 minute delay as we take a live look at I-440 and New Bern Avenue, courtesy of a live cam network. Listen, you don't have to leave us. You're getting ready to head into the car. Tune us in on the radio. News, weather, and traffic to go, 101.5 HD3.
Thanks, Ken. Breaking news. We now know the name of the man killed in a crash on I-40 near Rock Quarry Road. Raleigh police have identified the victim as 18-year-old Ethan Chai-Ban Mingquan. The WRAL breaking news tracker captured this video of the scene just before midnight. Raleigh police say the victim was speeding when he rear-ended another driver, causing both vehicles to drive off the road. The other driver hit a guardrail, suffering minor injuries. Chai-Ban Mingquan hit a tree, dying from his injuries.
Covering Wake County, today new resources are launching in schools to keep your children safe from gun violence. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey explains how the school system is partnering with law enforcement on this effort.
An announcement is happening here at Garner High School later this morning. The program is called NC Safe. It's designed to give parents free resources to start conversations about gun safety at home. About 30 community members heard from state safety leaders yesterday at Wake County Parent Safety Night. Many of those speakers were featured on our WRAL documentary last year, Unsafe, North Carolina Kids Dying from Gun Violence. 83 guns were found on North Carolina school campuses last year. In 75% of those cases, students brought those guns from home. This from the Department of Public Safety. Just this week, York Elementary School reported bullets were found in their cafeteria. Loaded guns were found at Southeast Raleigh High School and Enloe High earlier this year.
This problem is not a zip code problem. It's an everyone problem. It's an everyone solution.
The district is scheduled to make that announcement this morning at 10:30. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News in Wake County.
And you just heard Kelsey mention WRAL's documentary, Unsafe, North Carolina Kids Dying from Gun Violence. You can actually watch that documentary right now on WRAL.com.
Thousands of people are making their way to Vatican City to pay their respects to Pope Francis. This is a live look at St. Peter's Basilica right now, where Francis will lie in state for 2 more days before his funeral on Saturday. Crowds rushed toward the Basilica to try and get in before viewing was paused last night. It was extended past midnight to try and keep up with the large number of people. The long lines outside in St. Peter's Square have at times stretched beyond the walls of Vatican City.
Operations will return to normal at Jordan High School today in Durham. It was on lockdown for nearly 2 hours yesterday because of reports of gunshots nearby. Police say officers found several shell casings near the school on Garrett Road around noon, and Durham police did not find a victim, but they are still looking for the people who were involved. The lockdown was lifted around 1:30 yesterday afternoon.
The debate over water additives is heating up nationwide. Tonight, Harnett County officials will decide whether or not they will continue adding fluoride to their water supply. WRAL's Eric Miller explains how this could impact people in other areas, including Wake County.
Fuquay-Varina gets some of its water from Harnett County. Holly Springs gets virtually all of its water from here. So the decision made by the Harnett Board of Health tonight could have wide-ranging consequences. Fluoride has been in the water in Harnett County going all the way back to the 1950s. But the additive, which advocates say has a major impact on public health, helping prevent tooth decay from the young to the old, has come under increasing scrutiny as Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has taken the helm at the Federal Department of Health and Human Services. Kennedy argues the compound has little health impact and may even be harmful at higher doses. We did get some sense of how the Board of Health may vote tonight at a county commissioners meeting earlier this week. Take a listen to what the vice chair of the Board of Health had to say.
I want you to understand that we have over 70 years of research on both the safety and the efficacy of fluoridating public water sources. It is the single most effective public health measure for preventing tooth decay.
The Board of Health is set to have their meeting here at 6 o'clock tonight. The County Board of Commissioners will then take up their recommendation during a work session next week. In Millington, Eric Miller, WRAL News.
And we will be paying close attention to what happens during this debate. Look for updates on WRAL News from 4 to 7:30 this evening.
And Jeff Hogan at the WRAL Live Center getting some brand new video just into our newsroom right now of an active investigation that is taking place at Toronto's Pearson International Airport. This is the main airport in Toronto right here, where there's reports of a shooting that happened there. Eyewitnesses saying that they saw paramedics actively responding there, dozens of cops pulling up with rifles, and they're investigating what's feared to be that shooting there carried out on the grounds there. Witnesses reported hearing gunshots. There were people screaming and running. Pretty chaotic scene from what we understand at the airport there earlier this morning. So this is a response. I can't make much sense out of the other vehicles that are there, whether or not they're involved in it. You see a bus there, you see crime scene tape up there, but people were seen just abandoning their Ubers and taking off and running, dragging their suitcases along the pavement, just trying to get out of there. So we're trying to get a little more information on this and get back to you here in the Live Center about exactly what happened at Toronto's International Airport.
Be digging for context. Thank you, Jeff. Wade County educators are rallying against proposed school budget cuts. The district says it needs $60 million beyond its current budget, and this is to continue operating as normal and open 4 new schools next year. But Superintendent Robert Taylor, he doesn't think the county will be able to come up with that kind of money. That is why he is asking for $42 million and is looking to cut more than $18 million from the budget. Educators are demanding a budget with no cuts. Instead, they want more money in facilities and maintenance. The cuts are less than 1% of the more than $2 billion operating budget.
A huge wildfire in New Jersey is now about 50% contained, but people who live near it remain uneasy this morning. The fire has burned almost 13,000 acres near the Jersey shore. At least 5,000 people have been forced to evacuate their homes. Authorities say no homes have been damaged and no one has been hurt. At least one business was destroyed by the fire, though.
A woman is charged with second-degree murder after the death of her 1-year-old baby. 19-year-old Mariah Dawson was arrested and charged with murder and child abuse. Investigators say they were called to Hot Hat Drive in Fayetteville on April 9th, and that's where they found the baby unresponsive. Investigators say the baby was left unattended in a bathtub and drowned.
New this morning, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is cutting a trip to South Africa short and returning home after an overnight strike by Russian forces that killed 9 people in Kyiv. This all comes as President Trump says Zelensky is standing in the way of a peace deal between Russia and Ukraine. Trump says Zelensky must recognize Russia's control of Crimea, a region that has been a dispute for more than a decade. In a post to Truth Social, Trump says Zelensky, quote, has no cards to play and calls on him to get a deal done. A deal proposed by the U.S. with Russia also calls for no future NATO membership for Ukraine. Special U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff is due to meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin tomorrow to negotiate.
The CEO of the chat app Discord has stepped down. Jason Citron said in a statement yesterday that building Discord has been one of the most rewarding experiences of his life. He'll remain on the board and transition to a more advisor role. The former vice chairman of Activision Blizzard will replace him, and this is happening as the company plans to move toward becoming a publicly traded company. Your time's 8:40. AI and ID theft, the new technology making scammers' jobs a whole lot easier. 5 on your side breaks down the steps you can take to protect your information.
And losing staff, thousands of employees are leaving FEMA. What this means for the agency as hurricane season approaches.
And it is a mild start to your Thursday as we are taking a live look at Durham. I like this shot. take a picture, frame it, put it in the Louvre. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner is in the WRAL Severe Weather Center, and she is tracking the next weather maker that's approaching our way.
Taking a look at this beautiful day here in Fayetteville. We're seeing a little bit of cloud cover out there right now, so don't be surprised if you see more clouds in our southwestern counties, but from the Triangle area eastward, just a beautiful sunny day today. 59 in Roxborough, 64 Fayetteville, and Cary, 61 in Garner, so it's comfortably cool this morning. Feels great out here on the patio. No rain today. It's a nice dry day, and then tomorrow the chances go up to just 30%, so not terribly widespread, but Saturday a cold front comes through, and that will bring a better chance of rain to everybody, really our best chance that we'll see all week long. Heading out for pickleball. It feels so good this morning. Really not bad this afternoon. I know it'll be warm at 81, but our humidity stays nice and low today. If you're playing after work, 7 o'clock temperature, 73, Ken.
Happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. We want to give you a live look at the northern loop of the Beltline, I-440 and New Bern Avenue. It's been hit or miss. It's been going steadily, and sometimes it's slowed down. Right now, it's moving along at a nice, steady clip. We're seeing the usual slowdowns we're seeing around Apex US 1. About an 8-minute delay. You're looking at a 7-minute delay coming in from Wake Forest this morning. So, nothing that's really going to make you late. Similarly, over in the Bull City, you're looking at an 8-minute delay if you're trying to get on I-440 westbound.
All right, thank you, Ken. AI is making scammers' jobs a whole lot easier. A new study breaks down how AI and the dark web are helping fuel identity theft cases. 5 on your side's Keely Arthur dug through that study.
Now, that study comes from the Better Business Bureau and explains AI tools are making it easier for scammers to collect little bits of information they need about you to open new accounts in your name or get access to existing ones. And they're finding some of what they need on social media.
Sometimes with two-factor authentication or other authentication systems on websites, one of the things is asking personal questions that you get to select that drop down of questions, your childhood, elementary school, or your mother's maiden name or things like that. And people can find those on social media if you have that information on there.
So really think about what you're sharing online and consider cleaning up some of the things you've posted on social media that might reveal a little too much about yourself. Tonight on WRAL News, a deeper dive into this report, including a look inside the stolen data sharing that happens on the dark web and additional steps you can take to protect your information. Keely Arthur, 5 on your side.
Immigration is one of the most talked about and divisive issues of 2025. A new WRAL documentary called Crossing Borders, Immigration and Division in North Carolina. It takes viewers inside the debate. The WRAL documentary team talked to families who have been separated and deputies working with ICE.
Sometimes they treat us like criminals, and we're not criminals.
Drug dealers or cartel members or gang members. I don't want them in Alamance County.
The documentary also looks at proposed state legislation that would require the Highway Patrol and other law enforcement agencies to work with ICE. And you can watch Crossing Borders, Immigration and Division in North Carolina on WRAL.com in the documentary section, or you can go to WRAL's YouTube page.
Today, Governor Josh Stein will honor people from across the state with induction into the Order of the Longleaf Pine. The honor is given to North Carolinians who have dedicated their careers to public service. And Stein will also present the laurel wreath to people who have made outstanding contributions to sports and athletics. The ceremony is happening at 4 o'clock this afternoon.
With hurricane season just around the corner, FEMA losing 20% of its staff. About 1,000 full-time FEMA workers are expected to take voluntary buyouts. That includes employees who oversee response plans and disaster recovery. They're part of the Department of Government Efficiency's latest staff reduction efforts. President Donald Trump has called FEMA partisan, ineffective, and unnecessary.
NASCAR's Mission 600 rolled into its 8th year. The outreach program pairs NASCAR drivers with service members for a look at their training. Daniel Suarez visited Fort Bragg yesterday. He and members of his team greeted troops and participated in activities, and that included weapons training and using the flight simulator.
That's impressive, the level of discipline that is required to be this good in what they do is impressive. So nothing but respect for the men and women that are here training, and looking forward to continue to learn more about it.
Suarez also visited the post last year. Yesterday's visit is happening ahead of the Coca-Cola 600 at Charlotte Motor Speedway next month.
Duke is adding a new team, not one you'll see on the scoreboard, but one that's showing up on every field and court. It's called the Athletics Climate Team, and they're taking on sustainability one game at a time. The university's new initiative brings together more than 40 people, including coaches and athletes, all focused on saving energy and making game days greener. That includes cutting waste, hosting gear drives, and sourcing more food from local farms.
We found that student athletes care, and that our student athletes were inspired and interested in doing this and using their platform to do this work.
The effort will expand green games and eco-friendly upgrades like LED lighting and turf made out of sugar cane that uses less water.
This What's Trending report, sponsored by Rug & Home.
Michelle, time for a look at what's trending.
Yes, Chris, we are getting a first look at who will play a young Woody Harrelson. Actor Joseph Zada will play the main role in Sunrise on the Reaping, the Hunger Games prequel. It follows the story of a young Haymitch in his games. Listen, a young Woody Harrelson. Woody Harrelson is a tough act to follow.
So I mean, I won't lie. When I heard young Woody Harrelson, I said, "Oh, they're making a Cheers movie," and I said, "Oh no, it's his character from the Hunger Games."
Yeah,
so
I have never seen the Hunger Games. Do I need to watch that movie?
Need is a very strong word, Michelle.
Okay.
You would
thought
probably
it would be
get through
different.
life pretty okay if you didn't watch that series.
All right.
Just some truths with Chris here. Hey, Netflix shared a first look at season 2 of Wednesday. Now, this is one I enjoy. The Addams family returns to Nevermore Academy, and this year, Wednesday is joined at school by a new member of the Addams family, her little brother, Pugsley. Part 1 of the new season releases August 6th, with part 2 on September 3rd.
Love the Addams Family. That's a great series. I only watched a couple episodes. I probably should continue because it was really good. I enjoyed it.
Her dance moves in there too.
I know.
She's like, go ahead, girl, get it.
She is great. All right, let's get outside to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner on the WRAL weather patio with a look at our forecast. It's sunny and beautiful outside.
It's really pretty. What a nice day. We're going to see a slightly different weather pattern for it today. I'm going to walk you through that and show you why it's different and why we're right back to a chance of storms tomorrow. But let's take a live look here at downtown Durham. Just a few high, thin clouds. Looks beautiful there on the lawn in front of the DPAC. And it's definitely beautiful here in the gardens as well. I still see lots of azaleas blooming, but definitely looks like maybe last week was the peak, but there's still plenty of absolutely gorgeous flowers. The weather is phenomenal. It's still a great place to come and visit during daylight hours. 63 is our temperature in the Triangle right now. It's a little bit cooler there in, say, Rocky Mount, as well as Roxborough and South Hill, mid to upper 60s, 50s. Well, now Roxborough just changed to 61, and it's a little warmer down to the south, which is what we usually see, mid 60s down south. It's 61 in Zebulon, 58 in Wake Forest. It's 64 in Holly Springs, 61 in Chapel Hill. So a very comfortable start this morning. Here's a look at the big picture. We have a high pressure system sitting off the coast of New York. It's rotating clockwise. So it is feeding air from the North Atlantic into North Carolina. And it's also pushing those clouds back. That high pressure system is going to act as a blocker. So we do have some showers in northern South Carolina and the western part of North Carolina, but we're not going to see any of that making its way to our area. Notice the wind. Notice how the wind is coming out of the northeast. This is a look at our wind streams, and those arrows are shaded in blue where the cool air is coming in. And then as the wind shifts to southerly this evening and overnight tonight, watch them turn red, yellow and red. And we're really going to warm things up for Friday. We're going to push a little bit more moisture in. It'll be a little bit more humid. 81 for Raleigh and Durham, 83 for Fayetteville for today. Our normal high is 75. Behind Saturday's front, it will be cooler. We'll see a high of just 73. Our reported photo is some fog from Lewisburg. And of course, we'll come back with a 7-day forecast in just a bit.
All right, thanks, Elizabeth. And before we go to break, here are your winning NC Education lottery numbers. We'll get another